Thailand to waive visa fees boosts tourism. The Thai government has announced its will waive tourist visa fees for 3 months as part of its attempt to boost the country's tourist industry. The visa-free waiving program is targeted mainly for Chinese tourists who previously had to pay a small fee to enter Thailand. The global economic downturn coupled with the political instability, which led to the closure of Bangkok to airports for over a week. Last December will have a huge impact on the Thai economy, which relies heavily on money generated by the tourist sector. The government has allocated 1 billion baht of its 115 billion baht stimulus package to lure more tourists. The government is also considering allowing aircraft landing fees at the Bangkok International Airport to attract more foreign carriers to fly to Thailand. New picture of refugees put more pressure on Thailand fresh. Picture requested by CNN depicting Rohingya refugees claimed into a rickety boat with 2 engines have put more pressure on the Thai government to come clean on a beach. Allegation by the Thai army. In the picture, the refugees boat was towed out the sea illegally by a Thai army boat before being cast loose and abandoned. A Rohingya man who claimed he was on one of the 6 boats says that his was the only boat that has made into shore, while the other 5 boats sank. The picture and eyewitness account from tourists contradict the Thai army earlier claim that has been no inhuman treatment of the refugees of the 992 refugees who set off from Myanmar towards Thailand. In December, 550 are thought to be missing and forward dead. Best job in the world up for grabs. The Australian state of Queensland is offering what is called the best job in the world. The successful candidates will receive a fantastic salary of 150,000 Australian dollars, around 3,750,000 baht, in exchange of living around for 6 months on a paradise island on the Great Barrier Reef. The job is open to anyone who is a good swimmer, an excellent communicator, and able to speak and write English. His or her day-to-day duties improves strolling along the beaches, snorkeling the reef, and reporting to a Gobon audience on a weekly blog. Photo diaries and video update. The job offer is the stress attempt to boost its tourism industry during a global economic meltdown. Queensland's acting premier says traditional tourism advertising just doesn't cut it sometimes, and we are thinking outside the box by launching this campaign. Closure of Bangkok airports leaves thousands stranded. The ongoing closure of Bangkok, Suvarnabhumi and Dongmueang airports by anti-government groups, the People Alliance of Democracy has left thousands of travelers and businessmen as well as Muslim pilgrims stranded. Airports, authorities and airlines has have to shell out millions of baht to push up the standards travelers at hotels around the city. And special flight with Iran Airlines has been scheduled to carry more than 400 Muslim pilgrims to perform the Hajj in Saudi Arabia, and is scheduled to leave Songkhla Hat Yai Airport Friday. New and old girlfriend. David has a new girlfriend. Her name is Jane. Jane is Thai. She likes to read. She has red hair. She has thick glasses. She is kind. She loves her family. She has a fat cat. She is very different from David's old girlfriend Nancy. Nancy is hot-tempered. She likes to watch TV. She bursts in public. She is mean. Sometimes she has a lot of money. David used to love Nancy. She was cool at first. David found out that she was not good for him. Jane is better for him. He can imagine marrying Jane someday. Taking the bus. Mr. Johnson's car broke down. She took it to the car shop. It has to stay there for 1 week. Mr. Johnson needed a car. She has to get to work somehow. You can take the bus, said her friend. Mr. Johnson has never taken the bus. She was scared of she thought she would get lost. And even heard of people getting robbed on bus. She says, "You will be fine," says her friend. Mr. Jackson got on the bus. It was not very scared. She was actually very relaxed. She ended up feeling asleep. She missed her stop and was late to work. Ghosts are not real. Thomas looked like a tough guy. "Nothing can scare me," he always says. "Not even a ghost," asked his friend. "Of course not," says Thomas. "Ghosts aren't even real." The next day, Thomas and his friend were bored. They went to explore the neighborhood. They ran into an old abandoned house. They dared Thomas to go inside. He had to stay there for 5 minutes. Thomas was very brave at first. He could not see anything in the dark. Suddenly he started hearing things. It sounded like a woman screaming. Thomas ran out of the house. The Little Mermaid. The Sea King lived in under the sea. His palace was made of shells and sparkling stone. His mother and 6 daughters also lived with him. All his daughters were beautiful, but his young daughter was the most beautiful. She was not like the other. His sister liked to play, but she loved to listen to stories. In this, her grandmother says, "You will be able to see the world when you will be of 15 years." In this, when she was 15 years old, his grandmother decorated her hair with lace. Then she ordered 8 oysters to entice themselves to her tail. They started swimming up to the surface to the sea. As they reached the surface, the Little Mermaid saw a large ship in which sailors were singing and dancing. She calmly continued watching them. In the evening, there was a celebration on the ship because of the 16th birthday of the prince. The Little Mermaid was fascinated by the prince, but alas, a terrible storm blew over the sea that night. The Little Mermaid saw the ship sinking. All the sailors drowned, and quickly died into the sea and saved the prince. The prince was unconscious. In the morning, the Little Mermaid carried the prince to the shore. She laid him down on the sand. She went back to the sea as she did not want anybody to see her. Soon a pretty girl walking by saw the prince lying there. She carried him to a house nearby with the handsome fisherman. Meanwhile, the little mermaid kept on thinking about the prince. She tried to look for him, but did not succeed. When she told her sister about him, her sister found out his palace. Now, she always went to his palace to see him. Grandmother told her, "We live longer than humans, but that's so. Live forever." Not the little mermaid wanted to have a human soul. For this, she went to the sea witch, who know the magic. The witch says, "I will give you 2 human legs in exchange for your tail, but you have to give me your voice, and if the prince loves another, you will change into white sea foam." The little mermaid nodded her head to say yes. Then the witch gave her a magic potion to drink. When she drank the bitter potion, she became unconscious. When she gained consciousness, she found herself in the arms for the prince. She has 2 legs instead of a tail. The prince took her back to the palace. There she enjoyed herself and danced away the whole day, but she could neither speak nor sing. She and the prince were happy. One day, the king ordered the prince to marry the daughter of a neighboring king. When the prince saw the prince, he found her to be the same girl who had saved him on the beach. The prince fell in love with her, and they decided to marry her. They said then, the little mermaid, she knew that her time of death was near, and she tried to spend as much time as she could with her prince. But alas, she could not tell him of her love of him, as she could not speak. At the same time, her sister came to know about this. They brought her a magic knife from the witch. They said, little sister, now you will have to kill the prince in the sleep. Only after that can you come back to see as a mermaid." The little mermaid quietly came to the prince's room at night. She kissed him but could not stab him with the knife, as she truly loved him. So she threw herself into the sea. She found herself in the sky with the daughter of the sky, the twinkling stars, and now she lived happily and joyfully with them. Plan 30 projects to boost rural income farm sector. The government is planning new projects worth about 30 billion baht to support the farm sector and create rural jobs, its planning agency says on Wednesday. As it tries to restore an economy driven standards by the coronavirus pandemic global impact. The new project aims to boost rural income by developing farm technology, creating community products, and promoting tourism with plans to hire 69,000 students for government programs, says Danusha Pichanan, Deputy Head of the National Economic and Social Development Council. We are considering 3 to 4 projects worth about 20 billion to 30 billion baht. He told a briefing, adding the project would be proposed to the cabinet on Tuesday. They will be financed by the government 1 trillion baht of borrowing, 400 billion baht of reviving the economic and 600 billion baht for relief and health measures as it tries to mitigate the impact of the virus, which has infected just over 3,400 people locally. Under the 400 billion baht plan, about 45 billion in projects have been approved and chosen as about 100,000 jobs, says planning agency has Thosapon Siri Sampan. But we don't want to spend the money all at once because we have to live with COVID-19 for at least a year, he says. However, the government is working on a new stimulus package, Mr. Thosapon says, including plans approved on Tuesday to help pay for hiring 260,000 graduates on relief measures. The government has spent about 300 billion baht to help businesses and households. Thailand tourism reliant economy is expected to contract by a record 8.5% this year, with foreign tourist number seen as less than a fifth of last year, nearly 40 million. Koala was placed Australia. New South Wales government. Australian New South Wales status government is in crisis due to internal fighting over a policy designed to protest koalas. The National Party, which is the junior collection partner say it will not longer support government legislation due to its opposition to the policy. But party leader Deputy Premier John Barilaro says, "We are not anti-koala." He says his lawmakers would no longer sit with Premier Geldes Berejiklian's Liberal Party in the state's parliament. Its effective puts Mr. Berejiklian in minority government until the situation is resolved. She is yet to comment public. The dispute dubbed a koala war by the Sydney Morning Herald related to the government's status environmental planning policy, which became law last December, is aimed to better protect koala habitats. In June, an inquiry found koala would be extinct in NSW by 2050, without urgent action. Last summer's bushfires killed or harmed 3 billion animals nationally, according to a recent estimate. But Mr. Barilaro argued the protection policy went too far by placing onerous conditions on property owners about how they manage their land. We think a safe like this is somehow a way to sanitize the regions, attack the property side of landholders, and do absolutely nothing to support koala, he says. He adds the National Party states far as drawing koala population, we actually want to see the population double. We are not anti-koala, but Liberal Party politicians says the measures were necessary and supported by the community. Best Thai brand Suri Interfoods CO Limited. Recipes handed down are perfected through generations of loving, caring hands. The history of Suri Interfoods began in this way. Mrs. Suri Vattanaporn prepared savory shrimp crackers to sell in their own store, but felt that they could be improved with a little something extra. She created a dipping sauce of the crackers and honed her recipe to perfection. Mr. Sonchai Vattanaporn, founder of Suri Interfoods CO Limited, watched his mother create her Suri with dedication and love, And over time, he realized that the world would be a better place if more people could experience her sauce. With his vision to market his mother's sauce, he founded Sauce Interfood Co. Limited, named in honor of his mother Suri. Established in 1995, Suri Interfood Co. Limited has produced the original family recipe of Thai sweet chili sauce, which is our specialty. The acceptance and success of the sauce opened doors for us to create many other varieties of dipping sauces, such as sriracha chili sauce, spring roll sauce, sweet and sour sauce, sukiyaki sauce, and many others. We also began producing canned coconut milk. Besides using a family recipe grounded in Thai ancestry, we further ensure and sustainable Thai taste by using raw material from the heart of Thailand. With success in Thailand, we ventured into the international market and secured a wide distribution in different countries. Our expression of product line moved us to build a UHT coconut milk factory for our Proud Home brand to distribute locally and to send the best taste of Thailand into the world through global distribution. To comply with international food safety standards, our factory obtained GMP, HACCP, iOS 9001, FSSC 2200, IFS UHT plant, and BRC certificates from SGS Thailand. Our customers receive the surface highest quality product to us confidently and with a peace of mind to create their own generational recipes. Fashion statement. A few days ago, I pointed out my 12 years old niece to a friend. She the one wearing braces, the pink one. I realized at that moment the braces are new fashion statement. Can you imagine? But then, did you ever imagine that plastic shoes with holes in them would become too popular or those years ago? Or that you could buy little charms to wear on them? But that's the great thing about fashion. You are never quite sure what's going to become the in thing. Take glasses, big glasses come and then everyone wanted designer glasses with a logo. Men wear glasses with heavy black frame for a time. Then colors frame were the in thing and soon popular didn't when framed at all. Glasses too became a fashion statement and popular were them even if they didn't need glasses. Hairstylists another great way to make a fashion statement. Men with ponytail, shaved head, cornrows depth all come and gone and come back into style again. Women hairstylists are long and straight 1 minute and short and curly the neck. Bangs are in always, no bangs are out. Then of course there are jeans, streets, leggings are the way to go until everyone wear them. Flats. Some guys wear them baggy, really baggy women. On the other hand, some too prefer skinny jeans. Black jeans are in and then everyone start wearing white jeans or pink jeans or every other color. One thing is sure, it's a lot of work keeping up with the latest fashion trend and expensive. Maybe best way to make a fashion statement is to do your own thing and not follow fashion at all. Why all the interest in texting? An article on the internet recently caught my eye. It was about the texting championship in New York City. The 23-year-old winner texted in 149 characters in 39 seconds and won $50,100. That is certainly impressive and much faster than me. However, it's stated to wonder why is there still so much interest in texting. After all, texting is a commonplace activity these days. It's clear that texting, with all its abbreviations and symbols, is now part of our life. According to research, about 75% of Americans says text messenger and almost 1/3 prefer to text rather than talk on their phone. It's just quicker to send a text than make a call. Typing SUPI faster than asking how are you and listening to the answer. Is also more discreet because no one can overhear your conversation and that's FBM. OTOH texting has its downside too, and perhaps it's this problem that creates all the interest. Texters grieve that they are getting more spam text than ever before. Teachers complain that student test scores are getting worse because teens spend more time texting than they should. Some also say that texting encourages bad grammar and punctuation and IMO. That's true. Students don't realize they shouldn't write their essays in texts and they get low grade. And as a result, many young people are sleeping less because they wake up in the night every time a text pops up on their phone. Others have injury to their hand and thumb from the constant texting. There are also more serious problems with texting, however, such as the accident that happen when people text and drive at the same time. Fortunately, many countries are passing laws that make it illegal to text when you are behind the wheel of a car. In addition, public several advertisements warn of the dangers of texting while driving. Perhaps then there is good reason for all the interest in texting. How do you keep in touch with people? 1. Well, at work, we add video conferencing for meeting with our international official. It's less expensive than a business trip and more convenient, and you don't get jet lag either. 2. We ask email at work, but I use my social network to keep in touch with friends. I was getting a lot of spam in my personal email. There's nothing worse than spam in your inbox. 3. I text my friend all day. Texting a lot quicker and easier than calling. It's more fun too. I can't do it in class though. 4. Well, I video call my person. They think it's better than the phone because they can see me. I guess it's a good way to keep in touch when I'm away at school. 5. Well, for birthday, I think it's still like to send a card. I know regular mail is slower and less reliable than email, but cards are more personal, and I never send those e-cards. I just think it's nicer to get a real card. Part-time jobs and high school. High school students should not have part-time jobs. High school is a very important time for a student, and students are very busy. Students have to study hard to enter a good university. Many high school students also play sports, and they practice before or after school. High school students also spend time with friends of the same age. Those friendships can be important of the rest of their lives. A part-time job takes time away from studying, playing sports, and making friends. People work for most of their adult lives. When they are in high school, it's important for them to just be high school student. Writing focus. What is a paragraph? A paragraph is a group of about 6 with 12 sentences about one topic. Every sentence is a strong paragraph is about the same topic. All of the sentences explain the writer's main idea, most important idea about that topic. When the writer wants to write about a new main idea, she begins a new paragraph. A paragraph can give information, tell an opinion, explain something, or even tell a short story. The sentences are arranged logically so the reader can easily understand what the writer wants to say. And academic writing, a paragraph is a topic sentence that directly tell the reader the main idea. The other sentences is the paragraph called supporting sentences, give more information about the topic. The specific detail and explanations. In academic English, the topic sentences is usually but not always first or last. Learning responsibility. My first job was as a sales clerk in a small clothing store. It wasn't a difficult job, and it wasn't really a very interesting job. My best friend had a more exciting job. Every weekend I had to open the store at 10 a.m. I couldn't be late. Now, on weekends, I like to sleep late. I have customers buy clothes, and I kept the store neat and clean. My personal house was very clean too. I used the cash register and handed credit cards. So to have to be very careful. These things all taught me responsibility. Now I work in a research laboratory. I don't work with clothing anymore, but I still use this important skill I learned in my first job. A birthday gift. Choosing a birthday gift for a friend or family member is fun, but it can be difficult. The gift should be personal and has to be thoughtful. For example, the best birthday gift is either cost wasn't fancy or expensive. Last year, my mother gave me a photograph of my father when he was my age. He is standing with his mother and father, my grandparents, in front of their house, and he looked happy. I think of my father every time I see that photo. I was a perfect birthday gift. Reading your way to great health. Let's face it, many of us are not too healthy. We often take an all or nothing approach to health. If we can exercise every day, follow a healthy diet, or manage our stress level, then we give up and do nothing. However, looking after our health doesn't have to take a lot of time and effort. It just takes a little thought. Follow these simple ideas and rethink your way to better health. First, good morning. How much are you exercising this day? Not a lot. Research shows not exercising is really best for your health. If you can't afford to go to the gym, go running, skip the elevator and take the stairs. Don't take the bus or train all the way, walk. Or try exercising while you watch TV. Second, don't forget to take a break from work sometime. Our bodies can go all day. We need to take regular breaks. If work is stressing you out, take a few deep breaths in between tasks. Try a relaxation technique like meditation or take a relaxing 10-minute walk. Next, be sure to make good food choices. When you get stressed, do you reach for a cookie? Don't snack on junk food. Plan ahead and keep healthy snacks like fruits or nuts nearby. When you go shopping, buy only healthy food for your next meal. If you have to order fast food, choose something like go easy on the dressing and add a healthy side dish like a salad or fruit. Finally, remember to sleep well. Don't fall asleep with the TV on. When you go to bed, make sure your room is quiet, cool, and dark. Research shows it's the best way to get a good night's sleep. With simple changes like this, you can rethink your way to great health. One choice at a time. It's up to you. Let's celebrate. Other people around the world celebrate many of the same events. They sometimes celebrate their special day quite differently. We found some interesting and unique tradition for celebrating New Year Eve, birthday, and wedding. New Year Eve in Mexico, people celebrate the start of the new year by getting together with friends and family. On New Year Eve, they have a special dinner. Then, when the clock strikes midnight, everyone starts eating grapes. On for each month of the next year, a sweet grape means the month is going to be a good one. If a grape is sour, then the month is not going to be so good. Birthday. In China, there is an interesting birthday tradition for infants. A baby is 1 year old. On the day he or she is born, 1 year later, friends and relatives get together for the baby's second birthday. They put register objects in front of the baby, such as some money, a doll, and a book. If the baby picks up the money, it means he or she is going to be wealthy. Reaching for the book means the baby is going to be a teacher, and picking up the doll means the baby is going to have a lot of children one day. Weddings around the world have different traditions, and Venezuela is no exception. Of course, during a wedding ceremony, couples promise that they will always love and take care of each other. However, in Venezuela, the bride and groom don't always say their promise. Sometimes they sing them later during the reception. The bride and groom sneak away. If no one sees them leave, it means they are going to have good luck in their marriage. And that seems to be something that all these traditions have in common. They are all meant to bring good luck. Unique hotel experiences. Here are 3 existing hotels that you will never forget. 1. Controversy Tram Hotel, the Netherlands. Is to see why this bed and breakfast is on our list of unusual places to stay. Don't worry, these old city trams are not going to take you anywhere. The owner got old trams from Germany and Holland and converted them into comfortable, cozy rooms with American, Italian, French, and Mexican themes. The owners live in an old double-decker bus from England and cook in a French van. It's perfectly and place for people who like trains, planes, cars, and other transportation memorabilia. Eco-Camshire is not hard to fall asleep as this environmentally friendly hotel in the heart of the Torres Alpine National Park. The scenery is amazing, as is the peace and quiet. Guests stay in comfortable and inviting dorms similar to the homes of ancient native people. You should definitely take your hiking boots in the daytime. Guests can trek through the mountain and see guanacos, a type of llama and other wildlife, and then go back to the dome to relax and enjoy a delicious dinner in the evening. Giraffe Manor, Nairobi. When we asked the owner of this African hotel what should we pack, they said, don't forget to bring a camera. It's good to know. From the elegant rooms of this beautiful manor, you have superb views of the Niagara Hill. Not only that, but a host of giraffes live on the manor, and you don't have to try hard to get a great photo. The giraffe wandered around and parked there, hurried through the bedroom windows. They even turned up at the breakfast table too.